You mentioned metaverse environments as another way that blockchain and Web3 will transform education. I think I'm just going to pass this one over to you because I'm so curious as to the way you see it from the education standpoint.
Yeah. So there's a lot that we can talk about here. So the thing about metaverse environments that are magical is that you can simulate what you're doing in real life online, right? Not completely, not totally. Like if you don't have goggles, it's not fully immersive, all that kind of stuff. But like to be able to create experiences that are live and relevant and sort of like, immersive versus reading a textbook changes the way that you learn, right? So for example, if like you are, no matter what age of a student you are, you could be 50, you could be 12. If you are learning about plant cycles, right? Or if you're learning about, butterflies or whatever, your metamorphosis, maybe you're not learning about that when you're 50. And you are reading and looking at images in a textbook versus you're actually like walking into a metaverse environment as a butterfly and experiencing that change, right? It just changes the way that you experience the actual education. And so what metaverse environments are really great for education is a couple of things. Number one is enhancing the learning itself and creating experiences that bring things to life, right? So that's through simulations, through immersive environments and stuff like that. Another really great use case for metaverse environments is the idea of social learning, especially if you're not in a classroom and you're sort of like, either remote or you're, wanting to connect with people from all over the world. So the idea of, a classroom in Florida being able to connect with a classroom in Germany is a pretty magical thing because, again, the world is getting so much smaller. And so this is going to be another great way for students to start sort of experiencing that sort of global nature of it. Another thing, so the first thing is immersive. The second thing is social learning. Another idea here is the ability to have agency. So the ability to actually choose how you want to learn, when you want to learn, how you want to learn, and what you want to learn. So basically being able to like walk around as an avatar and walk into one experience versus another experience. Like one of the, we had a think tank last year for my company, K20 Educators, where we worked with a platform to build educational spaces for them. And I had 7 educators from around the world as part of this think tank. And one of them built a map where you could dive into the human body as an avatar. And the magic of it was that if a student wanted to, like, let's say everybody started off in like the intestine, but if a student said like, hey, you know what, I'm not super interested in this, I'd rather go explore the brain, they could just go explore the brain and have like all these activities that they could do, but then come back and convene with the classroom, right? So like that sort of agency just changes the way that you like internalize and are motivated by the learning because you're not told what to do and you can sort of explore what you need to, that it's still in the realm of what the teacher wants to teach, right?
That makes me feel like it reminds me of the Magic School Bus.
Magic School
Bus.
It makes me feel like
I'm Miss Frizzle, and I'm driving the bus now, and I get to decide where the bus goes first, right?
Yeah. One of the things I was going to say is like it's not all sort of like rosy here, right? Like we know that there's overstimulation in metaverse environments. We know that social media hasn't had the most positive impact on students. So like. Whenever I talk about metaverse environments, like I want to always sort of be careful to say that like we shouldn't spend all of our time in metaverse environments. We shouldn't spend our time in online learning because like it's not actually good for human development to stare at a screen all day, right? There's this study that came out from Stanford where they identified these 4 situations where metaverse environments should be used in education. The acronym is DICE, and they said, don't use metaverse environments for no reason, right? Don't use them because they're shiny and they're fun, whatever. Use them if you have a lesson that requires an experience that is too dangerous. So if you want them to learn what it would be like to not have oxygen at the top of the mountain, right? If it's impossible, so if you want them to learn what it would feel like if you were like a virus that is in your body, you can actually simulate that through a metaverse environment. See if it's counterproductive. So like if you wanted to teach people like, well, what would happen if the bees got wiped off from the planet, right? That is not something that we would want to simulate, but you could simulate that in a metaverse environment and sort of like show what that would be like, right? That would be counterproductive. And then E, if it's too expensive. So if you wanted to take your kids on a trip to Rome or to, Greece or whatever, you could actually do that in a metaverse environment without spending any money. So that acronym has been really helpful to me in like guiding educators and school leaders in understanding when to use metaverse environments and when not to use it.